Number 16. You gotta go back to your elementary, middle school days, and I don't know how much you've done back then, but if I say a direction of north 60 east, or if I say south 20 east, that needs to mean something to you. That needs to be a specific direction, assuming you are looking down in a bird's eye view, like top down, basically, top down. Yes, question?
No.
Idea is this. I could also write this as a bearing of 60 degrees. I could also write this as a bearing of 160 degrees. They're two different systems, but they both point to the same direction. Okay? The question uses this, so let me try to explain. Everyone know basic directions, north, east, south, west? Okay, we're going to talk about direction. Everyone's okay? So, if I said I'm going north, what direction am I going? But it's not just north now, isn't it? North, but 60 to the east side. So from north, I tilt over 60 degrees. A bearing is also from north, go 60. With me? South 20 east. What does that mean?
South and 20 degrees.
Start south and then tilt 20 in the east direction. So it is that. Are you okay with that system? Right? So you start with this direction. I could have said east something degrees north. I could have done that.
Yeah, you gotta regulate your diaphragm.
I'm really sorry.
Regulate your diaphragm.
Okay. Okay. But this is where the bearing gets a little funny. Bearing is not north, east, south, west. Bearing is always from north.
What does it mean when you're going north to south or south to north?
South, east, that's a system where you start with a particular direction and you start turning. Bearing always starts from north. So what does it mean to turn 160 degrees? It means from here, I go 90, I go an extra 70. So in total, I turn 160 degrees. So if I said, I am going at a bearing of 360 degrees, that's basically me saying I'm going north. So it's redundant. But if I said, I'm going at a bearing of 359 degrees, that means I'm doing this. I'm going at a bearing of 359 degrees. A little annoying, isn't
So would
it?
that be north with 150 west?
Exactly. North, so a bearing of 359 degrees is the same as from north, I am 1 degree in the west direction. They're two different systems, but they mean the same thing. Yes?
Okay, so they mean the same thing. You can do it either way.
Mm-hmm.
Is this gonna be on the test?
Maybe.
What?
In this particular textbook question, it uses the system that has a square brackets, and this is what they say. There's a boat. It is traveling 100 kilometers in the north, 60 degrees east direction. So I am going that for 100 kilometers, and if you want to, I can't do it with these short pieces of chalk.
That was gonna be really elite, Mr.
Okay.
Cheers.
That's supposed to be 30 degrees, and that will be 60 degrees. With me? And then afterwards, it decides to travel 80 kilometers in a bearing south 20 degrees east. So I decide I will go 80 kilometers this way. South 20 degrees east, which means this is 70 degrees. If I went from my start position to my finishing position in a straight line instead of making that detour, what would my distance be? I'll call this distance. And then it goes off to say not only the distance, but give me the bearing. Give me the angle. Okay? Thoughts?
Confusion.
No.
Yes.
It's a triangle. I have two sides. If I have any one of these angles, I can break this open. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Right? So if I have this contained angle, I can figure out V. If I have one of these outside angles, I can use sine law. Right? So your goal is to find any of these angles. And in case you're confused, I'm going to redraw this. This part is 30, so I don't know what that extra piece is. But here's a question where you use everything that you've learned, even from chapter 7, including parallel lines. How can you use all the information you've learned to help you break open this question? And yes, nowadays computers will do everything for you, but those computers were programmed by people who just had an eye for this. How would you find the angle? How would a computer go about calculating these angles for you? So like computers are magical, they need to be able to figure it out using whatever's inputted. So what would you do? How would you figure out either this little piece or even that piece? Because if you have this, you have all of that, or if you have this little piece, you have all of that. Hard. Yep.
Like I don't actually finish what you would do, but I'm thinking about using like the outside angles, like the whole like 360.
Maybe not 360.
Because like you drew
Oh.
the like that each like square would be 9 and if that was I don't know.
Question? Thought?
Maybe do like similar angles. I don't know.
Similarly, there is something about that. Yeah. All right. Everyone ready? Would you agree? Before I do this, I need everyone to agree with me. Do you see that these two arrows are in different locations? But are they pointing in the same direction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if I did that, that is the same as this and this. So would you then say that this and this are pointing in the same direction?
Yes.
Which means they're parallel?
Yes.
Which means that this, if I continue this line, is parallel to that?
Yes.
Oh, and then you have like a
I'm so confused.
Oh, I get it.
oh wait.
Oh.
Like was that was the opposite angle of the
Right. So this north and this south, they're parallel.
Yeah.
Because every single point where we have a bearing, it's northeast, southwest. It's exactly the same. And so if I have this as 60, because we know that that's 30, that's also a 60, which means, let me fix this. Together we have 80 degrees in a contained angle between 100 and 80. If you have two sides and an angle between, you
Cosine
can use
law.
cosine.
Define what? D.
Final distance. Right? That's all it was. So let's try it. D squared is equal to 100 squared plus 80 squared minus 2 times 100 times 80 times cosine of 80 degrees. And you can find D. With that said, I also want to know the bearing. I think you could probably figure that out. But let's work on it together. Everyone's got a calculator or something? Can someone please tell me what the answer to that is?
What is the first one? 108?
100 squared.
100. Oh, sorry.
No, 13,621.62916.
Sorry, say that again.
13,621. Oh no, I didn't square root it.
I
That's
got
okay.
28.6.
13,020.
That's not square root.
Point.
I have to square. Okay, well, I got rid of that count. Now I have to square root the answer.
Alright.
116.71.
0.629, and so distance would be?
116.71.
That is not right.
That seems pretty good. I haven't confirmed it, but someone stole my calculator, so I don't know.
Someone stole it?
Right?
I can't do that.
No way.
I think let that happen.
Because, I don't know, I'm a weak and feeble man. I'm sorry. Seriously. We're good? Okay. From here, the question is not done. It also asks for the direction, in other words, the bearing. What direction am I going? Well, I have 60, I have 30, so that's 90. But I need that little piece. Is there a way to calculate all of that?
Yeah.
Can't you?
Can't you?
Sine.
Sine.
Yeah.
Sine of, I'm going to do angle S, over 80 is the same as sine of 80 degrees over 116.71. Sine law. Because I have a matching angle side pair, and so I'm going to find that. So sine of angle S is 80 times sine 80 divided by 116.7. So angle S is going to be
42.46.
I'm liking that speed. Okay, so people are starting to, hopefully, starting to run through it at the same speed as at which I'm writing, which is vastly different from when we first started this unit. So please, with your practice, also pick up the pace. Yes?
So why would, like, under sine S, why would it be 80? Isn't that the speed that's going on? Oh my gosh, never mind. Sorry, I was thinking 80 kilometers.
That's okay. Sometimes you talk it out and you realize. So if this happens to be, I'm going to fix this now, 42.46 degrees, the total angle is 100 and, well, something. So what you can say is, that means we're going this many kilometers at a bearing of north 102.46 degrees east, which is sort of funny looking, isn't it? What's a better way that we can write this? Instead of doing 102 degrees, what if we start south and go? No. How much is left? A full straight line is 180, so it's going to be 77 point something. So it's going to be 116.71 kilometers. From the south direction, go up to the east side. There it is.